Hi, my name is Pam Denny. I'm an analytics architect with the IBM Maximo Asset Management team. Today, we're going to continue our video series on Maximo 761 with Cognos Analytics, and we'll continue to look at the data sources and specifically the file data type. So, a data source is required in Cognos Analytics to create a report or a dashboard, and Cognos Analytics greatly extends the types of data sources available to us. Today, we're going to talk about files. And files really plays to the point where Cognos Analytics is targeting our Maximo business and power users. And you'll see that in just a few minutes. Before that, I first want to recap our license entitlement. When we bring a file into Cognos Analytics, that file has to be based on Maximo data if we're using the Maximo license, because we're only entitled to data within the Maximo database, and we can extract that data many different ways. We can use QBE, result sets, application exporting within Maximo Classic. You could do a report export, but what I'm going to show you today is how you can use the new Maximo Work Centers in the Dataset Designer to quickly extract an XLS file and bring it into Cognos Analytics. You will simply access Cognos Analytics after you have your file, browse to the location, bring it in, see your preview of your data, and once that's available, you can then start creating your content. So let me move into the demo, and I'm going to first access our Maximo Work Center. I'm signed in as Abby, who is a business analyst. On the far left-hand side, Abby has access to the data set, which is a tool in Task, and she can create new content, or she can simply export a data set that she already has. Well, I'm going to select this work order canceled one. And a recap of a data set is it's simply a selection of attributes from multiple objects that Abby has selected via an object structure. Think of a data set as a result set in Maximo Classic today. So I've extracted that. Here's my download, and I'm just going to rename this so I can quickly see this in Cognos. I'll say canceled. I am such a bad speller. We'll try canceled work. So here's my file. So I, as the Maximo business user, this is really important information. I want to analyze it more in Cognos Analytics. So I access Cognos Analytics. I come here and select Browse. I want to open up my canceled work, and Cognos is analyzing that. You see the message up here on top that he's looking at the data as I bring it in. And now I can see here's all the fields or attributes that I have selected, and I can see a preview of that data to confirm, yep, this is the right file or the data that I wanted to bring in. You'll notice that some of the fields are underlined. This indicates that they are a measure. A measure is something that you can quantitatively, I don't know how I did that, quantitatively work with. So I'm going to say, you know what, Cognos, this looks great. I'm going to select OK. So now when I come back home, he's still loading my module here. When I come back home, here's my canceled work. Again, that's a CS file that I just uploaded. Now I can immediately refresh that data if I wanted to, or create a dashboard. How phenomenal is this? Let's just select one of these real quickly. And now I can start to see all my attributes that I have. And if I wanted to see how quickly I could bring in one of those, I could select selected the wrong one here. Let me just do a summary. I always do a summaries first just to make sure it helps me validate that I brought in the right value. Right over there, work order. And now I had 1,500 rows in my CSV files of work order. And if I open that up in CSV, let's make sure that we're actually bringing over the right data. I always like that quick validation. And here we should come right here, 1,510 rows because my first row is a column. So that quick validation, extracting the data from a data set that you've created right here in the Dataset Designer. You could also do a result set, QBE, Maximo, application export, etc. Bring in here into Cognos Analytics, browse, come to the location of your file. Your file is now available, and once it's available, your users can start creating those powerful dashboard features. So with that, I'd like to thank you very much for your time. That was our demo for today. And then in the next video series, we're going to start looking at data modules in more depth. Thank you very much for your time.